Oh, hey, why don't I tell you how your life just got a lot easier with the new Adobe XD UI Kits. All right, so Slayer aside, Adobe just released an update for Experience Design, or XD, that includes UI kits for Apple iOS, Microsoft Windows, and also Google's Material Design. So what are these UI kits and why should you care? Well, if you're an app developer or designer or whatever, and you have to design a mock-up or a prototype of the app in question, you know then that there are specific UI elements and layouts that accompany each platform that you're developing for. And it can be a pain to have to scour the internet for these UI kits, or God forbid, create them from scratch yourself. So no longer do you have to do that. And I'm gonna show you how to use these UI kits by creating a very simple gallery prototype. So before we begin, make sure you check out Coursetro.com. We have a lot of different courses, both free and paid, and also subscribe here if you like the channel. All right, let's get started. Okay, so with a new fresh document open up here in Adobe XD, let's go ahead to the hamburger menu over here, open UI kit, and we'll choose Google Material. Okay, as you can see, based on my current resolution, everything's really tiny, but to zoom up, all we have to do is hold the Control key and just use our mouse scroll wheel to zoom up and out. Okay, so in order to use these and make sense of them, we have to have some type of purpose. So let's say, for example, that we have an app that has a gallery and we want to show what happens when you click on one of the thumbnails and create some type of prototype interaction with it. And we know that this app is going to be based on Android. So to use this kit, instead of doing everything from scratch, what we can do is first, let's come down here and we can see we have this these two rows. These are just based on different device types. So we have a desktop, a tablet right here, and then a mobile. So let's say, for instance, we want to use the mobile dark. All we have to do is click on, let me zoom up real quick, the artboard title, and that selects the artboard and everything within it automatically. So Control-C to copy, and we're going to create a new document. Get Control-N for that if you wish. Get this up here, and then Control-V to paste. Very, very simple. Okay, so we have these guides here that kind of show up, these pink sort of guides. I'm just going to select it and then choose this little lock here to unlock it and then delete. I don't really care about those. We don't need them. Okay, so the next step that we want to do is see if there is some sort of gallery components that are available here in the UI kit document. So let me just look around. We can see right there we have just some sort of gallery right here. So if we select that, copy it, and then go back to our other document, we'll paste it in, position it right there. You'll see the guides that show up to let you know that you're perfectly in center. And we can paste it right there. Very, very simple. Now, this would probably be used more for a white background. And so I don't like this white background container there. Kind of looks not good. So to do this, we could right click and ungroup everything, or we can just double click right on it down here. And we'll see it'll automatically select that layer for us because we could see we have a fill color of white. Now all I have to do is, you could change it to a different color if you wanted to, or just hit delete, which is what I'm going to do. So now with that selected, we could see this is a grid because we have these little handles to the right and left. So let's pull down all the way, and this automatically repeats the content inside of it, which is very handy. All right, and now let's go ahead and select the artboard, Control-C, and then Control-V. Okay, so let's take this gallery. I'm going to right click. We're going to choose Ungroup, and then also Ungroup Grid. So now we can have access to all these individual thumbnails. Now, I want to leave everything with exception, or I want to get rid of everything rather, with exception to this bear right here. So I'm just going to take all these, holding Shift, left clicking, and deleting. There we go. Now we'll take this, I'm going to hold Shift and scale this up. We'll scale this all the way up to the very edge as well. And you can use your keyboard arrow keys to position this as needed. And it looks very pixelated because it's just meant to be a small thumbnail over here. So I'm going to change them. And so changing the content here, especially when it comes to photographs in XD, is very easy. So if you follow the link that's provided in the written tutorial for this video, you'll see that we have this bear picture right here. I'm going to use this. You don't have to. You can just download this, put it on your desktop, and after you do that, we'll go ahead and take it from your desktop and drag it over on top. Also do the same thing with this right here. Very easy. Okay, now this is taking up too much space, so I just want to drag this up to around 50%, right around there. All right, so now let's add some type. So maybe a heading and a little paragraph of content right here. So let's go back to our XD UI kit, and we'll find a typography section. This is on the upper left. All right, so notice it gives us some specs here. This is based on material design specs for light and dark backgrounds. And we'll just notice down here, for secondary colors, you leave it at white, except you change the opacity here to 70%. We'll do that for the paragraph text. But just for now, I'm just going to take this whole group right here and copy it. We'll go back. I'm going to paste it. It's a group, so let's go ahead and right-click Ungroup. And I'm going to delete all of these with exception to just 2 of them. Oops, we'll leave title, but we'll get rid of the subtitle right there. So I'm going to take both of them, holding Shift. I'm going to put the title right around there. Let's make them also white. So the fill color over here. And this one is really just for reference. We want to see the size is currently 14. All right, so the way this current type layer is set up, if we type in or paste in something from, say, for example, lipsum.com, let me go ahead and get that out real quick. This just gives us that lorem ipsum generated text right here. I'm going to copy just those 2 sentences. Now, if I just paste that in, it's going to go off screen. So let's create our own type layer. So we'll take the type tool just around here, left click and drag. I'm going to make sure we have good even margin on the right and left. The bottom we don't have to worry about. We're going to be moving it and adjusting it afterwards. And then simply paste it in. You'll notice it's also the Roboto font and 14 size for the font size. Also, change the opacity to 70%. All right, that looks good. We'll delete this one now. We'll drag this up. And also, if we hold Shift while dragging, we'll see that we have these guides that kind of let us know that we have even distance between the top and bottom of the title. And that looks pretty good. So we can always drag this down, and everything is situated and laid out very nice. Awesome. Okay, so let's say, for example, we're satisfied with this design. So what do we do now? Well, we can go to the prototype tool, or tab rather, and right here, we can notice this entire thing is a group, but we don't want that. So let's right click, we'll choose Ungroup. Now we can see it's yet another group, so right click, Ungroup again. So now we have access to just the individual thumbnails. So let's go ahead and take this. We'll see this little blue selector or dragger right here. We can drag that over till it connects and highlights, or outlines rather, the other one, this artboard here in blue. And you can specify whatever you want for the transition, easings, all that stuff, the duration. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to leave it at default settings. And then also, let's say, for example, we want to simulate going back to the gallery view page. So if I just try to select this right here individually, it's not going to let me. Although if I do double click it, we don't necessarily have to ungroup. So I'll go ahead and drag it right back. All right, so now if we hit play, we'll see, let me just get this to the right so it's not kind of cluttered over here. We click on it and there we go. We have a very quick prototype based on using the UI kits. All right, so that's how you create very quick, rapid prototypes using the Adobe XD UI kits. All right, so if you enjoyed that, make sure you subscribe here at YouTube and also check out coursecentra.com where we have a bunch of free courses and very cheap courses that show you how to design and develop apps for all different types of platforms. All right, see you very soon.